Seeing what affects your ears more, high or low pitch sounds. Literature review.
Okay, so the literature review. So there's over 40 million Americans that suffer hearing loss. Could possibly there be people that listen to music and they probably lost their hearing just because they listen to music at a certain level? Well, high pitches and low pitches probably cause that. So don't we wonder if that's actually what happened? And some examples could be like a roaring lion that has like a low pitched voice, or a tweeting bird that has a high pitched voice. Maybe they heard that in the wild, but right now we're doing about music. And some of the data we took, our hypothesis was if high and low pitches actually affected our hearing, then we would have to like have some safety sensors, like something safe for our ears and our headphones that we listen for music.
To let us know when it's bad to our hearing.
So what kind of things did you have to research in your literature review that helped you understand these concepts better?
Sound waves and...
What'd you learn about that?
We learned that there's like 3 different things to sound waves, which is frequency, pitch/pitch, the quality of the sound, and then how much energy it's getting out, and that's incorporated through loud and softness. And the quality of the sound is between pleasant sound and noise. Pleasant sound has like a continuous wave, like when noise has like a, how should I say it, like random wave. And then high frequency and pitch sounds are like the distance between each wave, or it's called somewhere around here. I think it's right here. I forgot what it's called. It has a special name.
Okay.
So some of the data we took, the songs, Long Array, so the Chef
How'd you measure it?
We measured it by frequencies or hertz.
And how did you, what tool did you use?
Oh, we used the app.
We first used this app called Frequency, where it shows you on the going up the decibels, and then going to the right hertz.
And you started with that. And
Yeah.
then what did you do?
Well, we played a song really loud and checked if the rice was like, right now we'll play an example.
And we kept the volume on the speakers and on the iPod at the same place.
So that was a constant?
Perfect.
As you assessed? Okay.
Like this song.
What was up here? Something right there.
Hopefully it won't disturb their class. See, the rice is jumping.
It's acting at, the rice is basically the stereocilia inside your ear, which is the hair, and then the clear plastic wrap is basically the eardrum, and it's detecting how it moves.
It's basically like our real ear.
Very cool. So what would you classify the music that you just played for? What area would you?
Post-hardcore / alternative rock.
Okay, that was your alternative rock. What was your evidence or changes between the different types of music?
Well, our evidence is that like indie pop music or alternative music was like much softer than
It was considered louder, even if it was played the same
like,
volume.
Long Array was 37 hertz, while
Decibels.
Yeah, decibels. While a song like Slipknot was 820 hertz, and they're like 2 different genres. Long Array was indie pop, and Slipknot was new metal or metal.
On hertz, it's Slipknot's at 700 and Lana Ray's at 900, so it's a 200 hertz difference.
Were you surprised by your conclusions and your data?
We were surprised to find out that music really isn't harmful for the ear. Because it turns out that for music to pitches.
Yes.
Right, okay.
For pitches or sounds to be really dangerous, they have to be over 85
decibels.
Yeah.
And that has to do more with, not with pitch, but with volume, correct?
Yeah, basically the loudness of the music.
So if you went out, did you guys, during your redesign and your retesting, did you play with volume levels as well, just to see what your process would do? And can you explain some of the things that you learned about volume that kind of led you from talking about pitch and then discovering about volume?
We learned that the volume, it all depends on the decibels. So it's over 85, and say you're hearing to a song on your device at full volume in your ears for 15 minutes, that can start damaging your hearing.
Excellent. If you were given $1 million and had a year to do this as a predominant focus in your life, to redo this project, can you tell me 3 things, each of you, that you would do differently?
Well, I would go for like, I guess a real ear model, like a perfect ear that could actually tell when music is dangerous.
So you'd actually build a model that's much more similar, but would you
Yeah.
use, it sounds like you would use some of these electronics though, because they simulated the,
Maybe like a better sound system, and like, I guess, because I'm not sure, like some songs where you buy them, they like don't sound as good quality. So
so you'd want a better original
Yeah.
song. Okay, that's really good thought out. Anything else? You got $1 million and a whole year.
I also like a real sensor. Perfect sensor. We couldn't build one because we didn't have a
time and
Sure.
probably money.
but like it's
And we couldn't find it on Amazon either.
How many times, by the way, did you guys create this thing? Because it looks like you put some thought into your model. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Creating the model?
Yep.
We did it
Okay,
once.
so at first, I
And did you have any
for-
things that didn't work and then you had to modify?
Yeah, at first we used I used, what was it, a smaller bowl? I think it was a larger bowl, and I couldn't get the whole plastic wrap all the way the whole surface. So I had to find a smaller one, and I found it. And then
Okay.
another thing was that, what was it? I had to find a way to get all the speakers to work together, because like this wouldn't make sense if this was somewhere else. So I
Right.
had to figure out to get it all around the eardrum.
Makes complete sense. What are you using? Are these giant Lego blocks?
Yeah, that's so it could support keeping this up.
And you kept consistent distance as well for all your experiments. So you kept. I noticed that you've got the kind of different layers of things. So you kept a really consistent distance from the eardrum. And was that based on measurements that you took of outer ear to inner ear, and then or was it
Yeah.
just a random?
Because, like in the ear, it's not like the eardrum's directly at the hole. So I had to make it a little distance to figure out. So it's kind of like this was in headphone or
Got it.
earphone.
And if you guys were to take this and create something that would simulate what you did here as a safety device or a testing device, can you explain how you might take this into and develop it into a prototype for a piece of equipment and what it would be used for?
Probably the same thing as we're using it right now, to see if a song can really be dangerous or not. And like, they could also use it to
Monitor TV systems, seeing if it's gonna hurt you later on.
Cool. What would it look like? What would a prototype look like in your opinion?
an electric ear.
Oh, cool. So something that you could buy, you could put on top of your TV, put on.
Like if you're in the night, it has a little flashy light.
Awesome. What did each of you, if you had an aha moment, both of you, through this whole project, if you could each tell me what your aha was?
My aha moment was probably that music isn't really dangerous, because I thought it was gonna
Music pitch
music pitch
isn't dangerous.
because, like, at first I thought that the pitches were gonna be like so dangerous that it could make us deaf. Even articles said it was gonna be deaf, but it turns out that wasn't true.
Based on your results that it did.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you guys picked the app, I want to go to your aha in a second. When you picked your app, did you read any of the resources and how that app was developed or being used?
No, what I do, like when I choose allocations, I look at it and I look at the reviews. And like the first one I chose which was frequency. It didn't really have anything. It was like unpopular. And then I used another one which is just based on decibels, and that one was much better.
And were there more than one app that you looked at and then you chose this one?
I used about 5 different ones. And I was trying to see which one would give me accurate and which one I could like let me do more.
So you
stuff.
actually tested downloaded and tested 5 different apps through this experiment, and this is the one you settled on. That was
not exactly on this, but I would make noise or something
Another thing, yeah.
to test it out, and like they allowed me to pause it to take data.
Cool. Did any of them record? Just out of curiosity.
One, but it cost like $15.
Yeah,
No
no,
money.
I get it. And what? See, I think this was really well done. I'd like to know what your aha was.
My aha was, I guess, seeing how much the rice actually moved. Because at first I felt doubtful that this wouldn't be like really like I guess
Successful.
close to showing how